Hi and welcome to episode 60 of the This Is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This Is Reportage and This Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. Delighted to chat to the fab Julia Rose-Greim for the podcast today. Based in Germany, Julia was recently ranked number 11 in the world on This Reportage Family, our site for documentary family photography, and second overall in Germany, with 9 awards won in 2020 alone. Tune in today as Julia shares all about why communication with your clients is so important, why she collects old polaroids, the time she started to dream in English, her journey to being a photographer, photographing the same families over years from newborn to school age and more, our Netflix synopsis game, the story behind one of her specific Reportage Family Awards, and much more too. Before we get on to Julia, just a little reminder that the submission deadline for both our websites, This Reportage for weddings and This Reportage Family for, family photography, is just a few days away now. Submit by 23:59 GMT on 24th of January 2021. All award entries are included in our membership fee, 60 individual image entries and 18 story entries per year. And though our awards are just one part of membership, if you are interested in maybe ranking on our top 100 worldwide lists, you have the best chance if you enter the first round of the year. All the best if you're entering. Right, over to Julia. Hey, Julia.
Hi, Ellen.
How are you?
I'm fine. A little nervous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you for talking to me. It's lovely to hear your voice after seeing your picture on Facebook for quite a while. It's lovely to actually hear your voice.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes it's funny to fulfill pictures of people, right? If you know them just online and then a voice and yeah.
It's true, isn't it? And then there's that whole other level when you actually meet them in real life as well.
Yes.
And which is very cool though. I love that. It's cool.
Yes.
So you're in Germany, aren't you?
Yes, pretty much in the middle. No, not really in the middle, but the eastern part of the middle, yes.
Okay, cool. I love Germany. I've not been for a while, but I've been quite a few times in my life to like Cologne and Munich and Berlin, and I love it. Awesome place.
Yes.
Have you been to England?
Yes, I've been to England when I was in school. We did some school trips or one school trip there, and I've been twice for summer holidays to get better language skills. So
that's cool.
Yes, but it's quite a while ago. So it was in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, we're similar ages, aren't we? I think we said on Facebook recently. We're similar ages. Yeah.
Yes,
same birth year.
Yeah, we'll be turning 40 this year too, yes.
Oh, I thought I was going to be totally fine with turning 40. I've always thought age is just a number. But when I actually turned 40, it was like, wow, I don't know, it felt a bit strange. How are you feeling about being 40 soon?
Yeah, it kind of, sometimes I feel like I'm still 18 or 20 on my mind. So and then I'm like, oh, okay, 40, that's almost half the life is over now. Shit. Yeah. I should get started and doing funny stuff.
It's true, isn't it? It's it's a strange thing, really. It is strange. Yeah. And as you say, I feel so young as well. It only feels like last month I was like just playing outside with my friends, and
yes.
It's a bizarre thing. When you did that school trip to England, which part of England did you go to?
I've been to Hastings once, and then the other year I've been to Shrewsbury.
Oh, nice.
And visited Birmingham, and with the school trip, I can't even remember where we were exactly, but also near London. It was not that far away from London.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool you doing that. Did you ever do any exchanges? Because I did German exchanges when I was younger. I went to live with a German family. Did you ever do that? Come to England and live with an English family?
Yes, with the school trip, we lived for some days with an English family. And the first school trip to Hastings, I lived with a host family, but with several other foreign kids. So it was not really family life there. And
okay.
And later I've been to America for 4 weeks with a school trip. in
Wow.
Wyoming, and there I stayed with the family, and I still have contact with them. It's quite fun.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice. I've only been to Las Vegas in America. I need to visit other places in America. But I found personally for me, the exchanges were great for learning the other language, even
Yes.
though actually don't ask me to say any German because it was a long, long time. But I did find, especially I did a week in Munich when I was 17, and I did feel like you would start to think in German, which is really
Yeah.
bizarre. Did you start to
Yeah.
think in English, like when you were in,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes. When I was in America, after I guess the second week or so, I started dreaming in English, and it was really weird coming back and answering my mom's question in English. It was a fun experience.
That's mad. Wow. Dreaming. That's very cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting how fast you adopt when you're a child or a young adult, how fast you adopt to other languages.
That's so true. I wonder if my kids now, they're young, 8 and 5. I wonder if they'll have the opportunity to do exchanges. I was 11 when I did my first one to Germany, which I guess is quite young. How old were you?
I was 13 when I went the first time to
It's quite
England.
young, isn't it? I remember arriving in Wuppertal. I don't know. Do you know Wuppertal in Germany?
I've never been there, but I know Wuppertal with the Schwebebahn, yes.
Yes, that kind of upside down monorail type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very cool. But I remember we were all on a coach, obviously from England, and we were all very happy. And then we arrived there, and then I think it hit home how we were going to be, away from our own families and being with people we didn't know, and everybody just started crying. It was very emotional. It was emotional.
No, I was used to not being home for several weeks or something, because when I was a little child, I was sick with the lungs, and so they sent me for recovery trips. And in the former GDR, it was for 4 or 6 or 8 weeks.
Oh wow!
So I was not with my mom that time. So it sounds weird if you're a mom yourself. I could not imagine to send my 3-year-old kid to a recovery trip alone.
Wow!
But I was. Yes, so I was not homesick that much when I was on.
Right, because that must have been. Wow. Are you okay now?
Yes, yes.
Wow, so that's helped though. So that's good. But wow, that must have been tough though. That must have been tough.
Yeah.
So Julia, okay, let's start at the beginning with you. How did you become a photographer? What's been your journey? How did it happen for you?
Okay, I guess I got I got a camera from my mom, or I took the camera from my mom, and when we were on holiday trips, me and her, we both took a lot of pictures, so I was always kind of driven to make memory through pictures. But and then she gifted me the first DSLR camera, but it was without battery. It was solar and fully manual.
Oh wow!
I guess I was 13 or something, and then I experimented somehow with this, but not into depth, not at all. It was more like trial and error, and yeah. And then in school, I always wanted to be a photographer, but then I recognized that to make to get a photographer, to become a photographer, I have to stay with my mom, because you don't earn a lot of money. So I decided to study instead after school, and I studied media and history of arts.
Oh, okay, cool.
And within this study, there was not that much photography related courses or something. And so the ones which were there, I took them all, some even twice.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I got pregnant the first time, and then, like a lot of photographers, my journey started to, take pictures of my own son.
Yeah.
He will turn 17 this April.
Wow, really? 17?
Yes.
Wow, gosh.
And then I photographed everything. He has several albums
Oh, that's cool.
with glued pictures. It was even with film, and I glued all pictures in there, and it's amazing. And then, and with the second son, some moms started to asking me, "Oh, you're doing great pictures. Can you photograph my kids and stuff like that?" And then I stumbled into business somehow, and then I experimented and tried everything and tried photographing them at home, studio, stylish, whatever. I even was in a studio for, I guess, a half a year or something, and tried everything out there, and learned and trained myself with some YouTube stuff and experimenting, and never took any courses.
That's cool.
But but then suddenly, I guess I was pregnant with my third child. Almost 7 years ago, I stumbled over Kirsten Lewis.
Yeah.
And then, that's how I got into documentary photography.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And is your third child is a son as well, is it?
Yes, I have 3 sons.
Wow, 3 sons.
16, 13, and 6.
Wow, man. What's it like being in a home with so many males around?
Crazy.
Is it?
I said we also have 2 male cats.
Oh, right.
And then we wanted a dog, and we went there for a male dog. And I'm like, and when we were at the breeder, I was like, no, we are getting a female dog.
Yeah. I can understand that. Wow, that's a lot of testosterone around.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's cool though. Yeah, that must be cool. I can't imagine having a 16-year-old, almost 17 now. It must. Well, it's because I've got a 5-year-old son, so 17 seems a long way off.
Yeah, but it's quicker there, as you can imagine.
Oh yeah, I bet. And that's the great thing about what we do, and you do as a family photographer, though, capturing all those moments. It's awesome that you've got those albums for your oldest.
At least for the oldest. The middle one is a little bit lacking of albums.
Yeah, I understand that as well. With our first one, we have like a book on her first birthday, and I think a book on her second, but we don't have that for our second child. That's bad, isn't it? That's bad.
Yes, and then there's huge gaps in the family history. Yeah. And I tried to at least get the vacation in a photo book or something. So at least once a year I have something printed. Yeah.
That's a good idea. It is a good idea. So when your friends saw that, you were capturing photos of your own family, and then they asked you to photograph their family, did you think this could be a possible business, or as you said, did you kind of just fell into it from shooting more of them?
Yes, because I always wanted to be a photographer, and then it suddenly happened accidentally on the side, and then I loved taking pictures of other families. Although in the beginning I still think the first families I photographed, I still need to send them their money back because of the funny pictures I did of them.
I bet they love them.
Even some of the early years in my business, some families I still photograph. And really? If I come to their houses and see the pictures from, I guess, 8 or 9 years ago, and they're like, oh, can we change these?
Oh, I understand that. Like, I don't show any images from my first weddings, for example, on my website now. No, I don't do that.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to look at these pictures and say, oh, it's been a long way.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? We see our progression there. We do.
Yeah.
I think that must be so cool, the way that you do photograph families over years then, and you see them grow, and that must be very cool to do.
Yeah, it's absolutely cool to see that from some families, you did the newborn shooting, the newborn pictures, and then you can see them getting into school life, and
that's really cool.
That's fun.
So how did you go from, photographing some friends, families? How did you then expand into doing it as a business? Do you remember how you got your first kind of paid family clients that weren't friends or anything? How did you do it?
Because I was pregnant or just gave birth to my second child that time around, I did a cooperation with my midwife.
Okay.
And she gifted half of the session fee for their new moms and dads and the families. And so I got some newborn
That's such a good idea.
clients, but it was not paid well at all because I did all the beginner mistakes and didn't price it out the way it should be. Okay. So I learned a lot on the way, made a lot of mistakes, and now,
But that was a great idea to do that with the midwife, though. That was a really good idea.
Yes, and because I was part-time photographer and part-time student, I still was in university that time. So it was okay. I didn't do much advertising or something like that. Right, I didn't dive into marketing at all. It was like just word of mouth working for me, and still is. So I'm still using this as my main and I think best marketing tool.
Well, that is good, isn't it? It means you're doing a good job if people are telling their friends and family about you.
Yes.
It means they're really happy, it's a great thing. You can't get better marketing, really, than word of mouth. You can't.
Yes, and it's always easier if someone else is excited about your work. It's easier to speak about others than about yourself, right?
That's true. That is true. Do you do any other kind of marketing? Like, do you do much on social media or search engine optimization or anything?
I try to be at least on Instagram kind of active, but it's more like how it feels. It's not with an actual marketing plan. I know maybe I should, but on the other hand, sometimes it doesn't feel right to be that planned or whatever, because I'm a kind of chaotic or messy creative mind. So sometimes I think I need a plan, but then something else happens and then plans are
out the window.
Yes, out the window. And so I'm not really massively active. So
no, okay, I understand.
I do some networking and in-person networking, and I have some plans on that, but not so much on social media or website or SEO or whatever, because it stresses me out, actually.
Oh, does it really? Yeah.
It's so much not artistic stuff, and it's like, that's a lot to do.
I understand that. It can be so overwhelming, can't it? But the in-person networking you mentioned, that sounds interesting. I guess that's more before COVID times, though. A bit hard to do in-person stuff at the moment, isn't it?
Yes. But I think collaborations and stuff is always better than just being on the internet.
That's
also, you should have a website and stuff like that because people search for something. But overall, I'm now in business for, I guess, 14 years now. Or 13. In summer it will be 13 years of business. And I got maybe 2 or 3 fresh inquiries through my website. The rest was always sent by someone.
Okay.
So
It's definitely working. It's definitely working then.
Yeah, somehow it's working. So.
It's because you're doing such a great job. It's great. But so with your in-person things as well, do you also meet up with other photographers in Germany? Is it a friendly scene? You know, do you see other documentary family photographers?
I'm in my area. It's not that crowded yet with documentary photographers because in Germany it's fairly new, this genre. It's growing fast. But I do have family photographer friends. But I guess somehow it's still kind of competitive in Germany. Sometimes it feels like that. But we are working on it's easier in the documentary genre because documentary is so personal. I feel it's not that you can kind of copy a certain style.
That's true. Like you can't copy a kind of posed portrait.
Yeah,
that is true.
It's easier to copy post or studio work.
That's true.
You can buy the several stuff and recreate stuff, but not with documentary, and that makes it easier to feel not that competition pressure.
That's so true, isn't it? Yeah, no, I guess I've never really thought about it from that angle, but that is definitely so true. It is. Okay, let's change tack for a second, Julia. Let's change tack.
Yeah.
I started last week. I thought it'd be quite fun for this new year of podcast episodes to do a kind of little Netflix kind of based little quiz. You like your Netflix, don't you, and TV and things?
Yes, I'm Netflix addict. Yes.
Oh, okay, well that's good. That's perfect. So it's just a little fun thing. There's a little few questions. I thought I would read out Netflix's synopsis on a series or movie, you know, their little description.
Yeah.
And I'll see if you can you tell me which movie or series they're talking about?
Okay.
Okay, you're ready. You're ready.
Yes.
Okay, so the first one, this is a series and this is a synopsis, okay? Sent to an orphanage at age 9, Beth develops an uncanny knack for chess and a growing dependence on the green tranquilizers given to the children.
Yeah, that's what is it in English?
Oh yeah, this is going to be this. Sorry, it's a lot harder for someone who's not in native English.
In German, it's with a gambit.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So I watched it. I binge watched it. It's amazing.
Isn't it? It's so good, isn't it? It's so good. Yeah. So the Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. Yes.
Is Schach? Is it Schach in?
Yeah, Schach. German? It's in German. It's Schach, and in German it's called the Damen Gambit.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? She is amazing in that, I thought.
Yes. I immediately wanted to learn chess.
Oh yes, it's inspiring, isn't it? I was going to ask if you played. So I do really enjoy chess, but I've not played since I was about.
No, I've never done.
Have you never played? No.
Yeah. No.
Have you started to learn then? Have you?
No.
You should do it. It's honestly, it's a really. I know chess has a reputation for being what people think is a very boring game, but it's actually very exciting to play. It is exciting.
I guess I can imagine that I like it because I like board games which are not like Monopoly or something. Monopoly is boring, but we have several board games that are kind of like you have to get a strategy and.
Cool. Yeah. What's your kind of favorite board games that you play then?
We just have Blockos. I don't know if they are all the same in English, and we have Domino is.
I never know how to play dominoes properly.
Dominoes is really cool. If you can really do it. It's first I thought it's really a childish game because you just have to make rows of stones, and but you can even really do it on strategy.
Okay. Yeah, I should learn how to play that properly. That's cool. Because it's nice to have a game for the whole family to play together as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm playing with my kids a game called Labyrinth, which is an old game. I'm not sure if you have that. It's in Germany. It's like a maze, and you move the maze to try and get around to get your treasures and things.
Oh, yeah, I know this, but we don't have this. We do the Settlers of Catan.
Oh, I've heard of that, but is that good? I've heard of it.
That's really good, but I guess it's just from age 8 or 9 or something like that.
Okay, a bit older. Oh, well, that sounds cool though. I'll have to try that when they're a bit older. Okay, let's do another Netflix one then. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a film or a movie film. Yeah. Anyway, okay. When bullied teen Daniel LaRusso teams with a martial arts master, he ends up learning much more than just self-defense.
Oh, that's Karate Kid.
Yes. Good one. You're great.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it? It is fun. I've only watched part of the second series now. Have you watched it all?
Yes.
Oh wow! Because the third series just came out, didn't it? Quite recently.
Yeah, it's so fun to see all the faces of your childhood. You know.
Yeah. It's cool how they use the actual clips from the films as well, isn't it?
Yes, and also that they bring all the old cast together. Even in the third series, the third episode, it's like, woo.
Oh, really? Does Elizabeth Shue come back?
Who was Elizabeth Shue?
Oh, she played, Daniel's kind of girlfriend in the first.
Yes, even she's coming back, and even they're going back to Japan.
Oh wow! Oh, I need to watch more then.
Yes, you should.
Because I thought the main baddie in the first one, who's obviously in Cobra Kai a lot, he's so good in Cobra Kai. I think it's really interesting, the whole story about him. I think. Cool, isn't it? Anyway, that's good. I love those films as well. I love that as a kid. I remember getting Karate Kid figures for my 8th birthday or something. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more. I'm liking this. Okay, this is a movie. Or we might do 2 more. Okay, when the curator of the Louvre is killed, a Harvard professor and cryptographer must untangle a web of deceit involving works of Leonardo da Vinci.
I'm not sure.
It's an oldish movie. It's got Tom Hanks in it.
I'm not sure. I might know it, but I guess I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I've never seen it anyway. No, I've not seen it either. It's the Da Vinci Code, which I've never read.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my husband loved it. Yes.
Oh, really? I need to watch it. I love Tom Hanks, but okay. Last one. This is a family. Oh no, I'm not going to give you a clue. I'm just going to say. Okay, so villainous Gru hatches a plan to steal the moon from the sky, but he has a tough time staying on task after 3 orphans land in his care.
Oh, I've no idea.
No, I wouldn't have known either. I wouldn't have known. It's Despicable Me. Despicable Me. It's an animated thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but you did really well there. That was good. I like that. That was fun. That's fun.
At least I have 50%.
Yes, and that's good though. That was good. I love it as well. Karate Kids. And what was the first one we did then?
The Queen's Gambit.
Oh yeah, Queen's Gambit. Yeah, both great.
I always try to convince my oldest to watch Karate Kid and to watch Cobra Kai because I think it's so much fun, but he doesn't want to.
Really? Doesn't want to? Oh.
No, but he's almost 17. He doesn't want to watch Karate Kid. So.
I guess. The first Karate Kid's it's quite violent, actually. The first Karate Kid, I think it's a 15 rating. I think in England, anyway. I'm not sure, but
I guess in Germany it's 12 years.
Yeah, good films though. Yes, and Cobra Kai. If anyone's listening now and are thinking about watching that, do watch it. It's fun, isn't it? It is good.
Yes, but you should have. You should know about Karate Kid.
Yes, definitely helps.
Otherwise, it isn't as much fun, I guess.
You're right. Cool. Okay, let's go back to photography, Julia. So I heard that you like to buy and collect old Polaroids, which I find really interesting. Can you tell us more about that? How you got into doing that?
I don't. It was my friend. I had a Instax camera quite some years now, but it was in a box somewhere, and I didn't really grabbed it out. And then I was visiting my friend Barbara Puchta, who's also a photographer, and on
I recognize the name.
Family.
That's cool.
And she, at this point, she was absolutely into old Polaroids, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember I have a Polaroid or an Instax camera too. And then I started buying Polaroid cameras myself and started to experiment with them. And then I found out that you can even water these pictures, and then it makes cool effects on the Polaroid pictures.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yes, and you can cut them out and layer them on paper and stuff like that.
Ah, cool.
It's really fun what you can actually do with Polaroids. And then I found on eBay when I was searching for cameras, and I tried out several cameras, different types of Polaroid cameras, and the different films, because they all behave a little different.
Okay.
And then I bought some, and then I found even Polaroid pictures, developed Polaroid pictures from people who sold their Polaroid pictures. And like, how can someone sell a Polaroid picture? Because with Polaroid, you just have this one picture. There's no copy or something, and you can't reproduce it without the picture.
Yeah.
And my kids thought I'm really weird doing this. And that I was really excited to go through these pictures and imagine what the life of these people were and why they sold their pictures. And yes, and now I also bought and collected some old photos, maybe even from the 18th or 19th century.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I want to do some collages and art and stuff. And I'm not really sure where it will go to, but I have several ideas I want to try out and really scan them and kind of collage them. And maybe with the new pictures and old pictures and stuff like that, yes.
That is cool. I like it. And that is, with people selling their actual Polaroid photos themselves. Are these people that have just kind of like, is it of their own family that they're selling, or is it people that they've maybe moved into a house and finding Polaroids in the attic?
Probably that, or maybe that the grandma or the aunt or whatever died, and then they got a box of Polaroids and don't think it's necessary to keep them, and then sell them. Wow. I don't know. I find it strange to sell pictures.
But it's cool that you're collecting them though, and that they're not going into a dump or into a fire.
Yes.
Wow, that's really cool. I find it must be interesting looking at them and thinking about the lives these people had.
It's so funny. I bought a box with like 2 kilograms of old photos. Wow. And then yesterday I went through them and sorted them out, and it's connecting somehow with me, and I want to make art with them and the rest. And it's so fun to see what people thought is interesting and took pictures of. And
I bet
it's not just portraits. It's most of them are portraits somehow, but it's also kind of fun stuff. So it's made me laugh a lot last night when I sorted them.
Oh, that's cool. Are your kids interested at all in looking at them with you? Or?
No, my oldest saw me and he said, "This is weird, Mom." Again.
I think that's really cool. It's really, really cool. And how many actual Polaroid cameras do you kind of own then?
I guess I have 3 or 4.
Okay, cool.
And some I already sold again. I sold them because they didn't do the job I wanted. And and I also bought the Polaroid Lab. It's so you can do your mobile pictures on Polaroids. That's helpful because you don't have to carry the Polaroid camera and a bunch of films when you're outside.
That makes sense.
Somehow you can mix and mingle the techniques. Yes.
Have you ever done it on your, when you're doing a family shoot for a client? Have you ever taken any Polaroids for them on the shoot?
No, sometimes I take my little Instax camera with me and make a short and quick picture for the kids, and they love to have their picture, and they are really wondering how it's developing, and then, oh, look, my picture's coming, and it's quite fun to...
Yeah. Because normally kids these days would never really ever see that, It's
No.
cool. Really
And they
cool.
start shaking and the picture, and it's fun.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. And you're building rapport with your clients then as well, I think. That's really, really nice.
Yes.
I'd like to talk about one of your specific Reportage Family Awards that I
Yes.
particularly love. It was featured on Board Panda as well, actually. It's a black and white shot from above of what appears to be, I think, a mother and daughter, I think, on a kind of hammock. And
Yes.
the mother's eyes are like she's eyes closed. It's really beautiful, really serene. Can you tell us about that shot? How what was happening? How you got it?
This was a day in the life, a half day in the life shoot with this family. I was there, I guess, the second day in the life with them. Cool. And they were at their little garden. And the kids were running around naked and in the pool and whatever, having fun. It's a summer day. And then the mom rested on this hammock. And then the girl came and wanted to cuddle with mom. And I saw the hair and I was like, oh, that's it. It's always my gut jumping in.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I took the picture. It was not easy because the hammock was quite, not high, but... So I had to pull the camera up, and I had no flip screen to check, so it was kind of
that's
blindly shooting this picture.
That's very cool, though. That's very cool. And and it's such a serene, it's a beautiful moment. It's really, really lovely. And is it a kind of image that you knew kind of straight away that was, going to be so impactful?
No, not with it. No, not.
It's funny, isn't it, how things work out like that, really? Sometimes the images, as when I'm shooting a wedding, I'll take an image and I'll think, wow, I think that's pretty cool. And then I'll come home and be like, not so much. And then the other way around, the images that you don't even remember taking.
Yeah.
And it's mad. So that was a day in the life session, which is really cool. I see that you do quite a few of those. How did you get your very first day in the life session? Because, I think it's something that a lot of people are interested in doing, but because they haven't done one yet, they don't have one in their portfolio to show prospective clients, So I'm just wondering, how did you get your first one? Do you remember?
I started with the classic way, the portfolio shootings, and I asked our friends or neighbors to start with them. Okay. After I did within the first course I did with Kirsten Lewis online, and the whole idea of going to a family for a full day or half day totally hooked me. So I went with them, and then I guess I asked some clients, or I asked on the internet for the first. It's 6 years ago, so
it's hard to remember.
So and then I stayed with them for 8 hours or something like that.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, and I had several other interesting families, so I picked them, and I started with portfolio shootings for free to try.
That makes sense.
To try it out and to see how the people react, the clients react on this. Yes, and I still do sometimes portfolio shootings, also nowadays.
Right, okay.
Because sometimes, it's freeing from expectations if you do portfolio shootings because you don't have the feelings that you have to deliver a certain amount of pictures, and you can be more with yourself and to dive into moments, and
that's so true.
It's deeper and don't have the fear to miss something, which might be important for the family who paid you.
That's so true.
So sometimes it's helping to balance out the pressure with.
That makes sense. And talking of pressure and things, do do you get anxious or nervous about shoots at all? I often talk about, I get nervous about, turning up and starting shoots and things. Do you get nervous for doing family work?
Not that much, but still a little. It's depending on if I know the clients already, and with a lot of my clients I'm friends with, kind of, because over the years, if you're documenting their family life, you kind of get a part of the family.
That's so cool.
So that's easier. Then I don't get nervous, or not nervous on the shooting, more like excited to be there again. But with new clients, I sometimes get nervous. Sometimes clients have certain expectations or wishes or whatever, and then it gets a little nervous to meet these expectations.
Yeah, I totally understand that. But say if you're shooting a family for the second time, and I was just thinking, if they love the photos the first time, does it not add even extra pressure on the second shoot, because you've got to deliver as good images as the first shoot or anything? No.
Yeah. Not that much, because sometimes it's more like that we have the expectation for ourselves to be better, because the clients usually are happy with a lot less than we are.
That's so true, isn't it? I totally understand that. Yeah, that is true. We do.
And it's more in us than with them. So
that's really good advice, I think, to think about that, to have that in your mind. It's so much of the pressure that we have in this industry, in the photography industry, is what we put on ourselves, isn't it? It's not client expectations, really.
No, because if the clients invited you to come there, they already trust you that you will do your job, kind of.
No, it's so true. It is true. Yeah, it's good to remember that, I think. I need to remember that more. What do you find what's the most challenging aspect of family photography? What's the most difficult for you, or what do you find the most challenging?
I guess the most challenging.
It's tricky to think, but no, sorry, isn't it? I'm just putting all these questions on you, but yeah.
Yes. I guess the most challenging is to get a good preparation, or I guess a good communication with the clients. I guess if the communication is good, I think the shoot will be good.
That's true. How do you help that, or do you have do you talk to your clients quite a bit before the day to explain how you work? Do you send out questionnaires or anything like that? I just wonder how you do that.
So I don't send questionnaires, but I'm now really clear on how I work and what kind of settings or what I need to make good work. So I need time. That's what I always tell them, that they should not put too much action in their 2-hour sessions.
Okay.
So they should not push, like, I don't know, 10 different activities in the 2-hour sessions, because then it stresses me out and then I can't work and think. That's and there I'm really clear and honest with all my inquiries and all my clients, that they know they can be just themselves, and as more boring it is, the more creative I get. That's my experience.
That's cool.
Because if you have the time and the freedom, because it's not rushing around things, the better I can work or be creative.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. So do you enjoy the long kind of day in the life sessions, like the 8-hour shoots, when you're there for the full day? Do you enjoy those?
Yes, I really love the half and the full days, and I'm really happy that for this year I already booked some half and even full days, because I never imagined someone paying full day sessions.
Yeah.
But yes, because you have the time and the freedom to absorb, to observe, and to really get a feeling of the family interaction and the personalities. And it's not just scratching on the surface. Because 2-hour sessions, if you even with older clients or clients you already know, it's always just scratching on the surface kind of thing. Because 2 hours is just not enough time to really dive into
Yeah, that
family
makes sense.
life.
Just 8 hours though, do you ever get, it must be tiring, because I've not done a full 8 hour day in the live session. I would really like to, but I'm just thinking back when, when I shoot weddings at 8 hours, 10 hours, or it's very tiring. How is it for you doing it, being just with that one family? It must be pretty intense over such a long period.
It is intense, but I even stay longer with them on full days. Full days are really like 12 hours.
Wow.
It's like a wedding. I guess it's not as exhausting as a wedding, because on a wedding you have like so many people and there's always something going around. It's harder to take breaks on a wedding day. And with a family, they take a nap or they relax, or so not all the time, something is happening.
Right. Okay.
So it's and it's just 4 or 5 or maybe 6 people, and not 200.
Right. I guess so.
Not that exhausting. It's still exhausting, and I still need kind of like 2 days off after.
Yeah, I bet.
Brain was too much running. And yes, I definitely prefer the longer sessions.
Okay, that's cool. I just thinking, even from when I've shot smaller weddings, say they've had only 10 guests, and doing like 10 hours for 10 guests, it can actually, for me, I found it's harder in a way, to just be photographing those same people for 10 hours. So I'm just thinking of a family with just 6 people for 10 hours. I just think I'd love to do it, but I think it would be difficult. It'd be challenging.
Yeah, but also you can just sit there and get to know them better and get a better sense of what's interesting for them and how they, and to observe the smaller details you otherwise wouldn't notice if they are 200 people, like the little touches or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's so much more meaningful.
Yeah, or the details, the still life details or something like that. You have more freedom to walk around and observe these.
Yeah, I bet. And the way you work now, do you, because people work different ways, are you like quite frequently talking to your family, or do you stay, mostly silent, or, how do you work?
I talk a lot with my clients while shooting, and I'm for that day I'm like more than a friend who visits them. I'm not the fly on the wall at all. I'm in the middle of the.
That's cool.
Of the family, or not the middle of the family, but the middle of the action.
Yeah.
I'm with them. I also play with the kids and talk with them, and
I get that, because it would be kind of, I know obviously everybody works differently, but for me personally, it would be strange to have a photographer in a room with me and my family, and them just being totally silent the whole time.
Yes.
It would put me on edge, I think.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's different. Yeah, it's a bit different. Yeah.
But I also know people who know photographers who can't photograph and talk.
Right.
We need to concentrate on either.
And I guess it's whatever works. It's whatever works for you as well, and your clients, and people like different things. It's good how we're all different. It is all good.
Yes.
It's good. Okay, let's change tack again slightly, Julia.
Yes.
Okay, a random question. But if you could choose one day in your life to live over and over again, like Groundhog Day. Have you seen Groundhog Day?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you could choose the day that you lived over and over again, which one would it be?
Oh, this is hard.
It's hard, I know.
Because I have 3 kids.
Yeah, you could say you got the
Not
birth
that
of each
easy,
of
then
them.
you can say. The first time I met my child. No, I can't say that.
That's true.
I'm not sure. Probably, maybe one day with my grandparents when I was a child. I don't remember a certain day, but yeah, somehow I feel like I would love to have more actual, really memories of the time with my grandparents when I was a child.
I get that. Yeah, that's lovely.
Maybe a day with my grandparents when I was a child.
Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I wish I could give that to you. I wish I could give that to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like you. I guess I don't. All my well, sorry, I don't know when yours. Went, but I don't remember my grandparents at all. They were all died by the time I was like 4, I think. So.
No,
Yeah.
my grandpa died when my first one was a half a year old.
All right.
He already he was a lucky one, my oldest, to meet his grandpa. But yeah.
Okay.
My grandma died 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
3 years, yeah.
Oh gosh, sorry. Horrible things. Into horrible times. And what was it like last year for you? Anyway, while we're talking not such happy subject, how was the whole of 2020 for you? Just emotionally or business wise, what was it like?
Yeah, it was. I guess it was and still is tough times because with the kids homeschooling and trying to work, and it's not really working because I guess it's hard for the brain and for the emotions to keep up and happy. And yeah, I had several shoots last year, and because I'm not that much of a wedding photographer, I have one wedding this year which was pushed from last year, and one which couldn't take place because of COVID, but another one took place. So it's kind of a weird year for everyone, I guess. And
were you able to do much family work in 2020?
I did in summer when it was okay. I did some family shoots and half-day sessions, and yes, it was okay. I survived business-wise, and it can only get better, right?
That's so true. Yes, it is. So
yeah,
it can't get worse. I am touching wood, as we're saying. It can't get worse. So I am touching wood.
No, I just hope that people learn the lessons COVID is telling us, so that we should listen to what really is important to us, and to turn life more into this direction of what really interests us and what's really helping us, and not what other people think we should do.
That's so true. That's so true. Oh, yes, so true. And yes, as I say, it's looking more hopeful for this year. Fingers crossed. But
yes, I hope.
Julia, okay, cool. I'm gonna ask one last question.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you. It's been really lovely. Really lovely.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, it's really fun, isn't it?
I'm not nervous anymore.
Oh, that's good. Good. Nor me. I always start nervous, but then they go, doesn't it? It's true. It's just really nice. Okay. So last question. I've got a big one, but last one.
Okay.
What would be your top tips for people just starting out in family photography? And your advice could be post-COVID times now, or it could be, imagining the world before COVID, but I don't know, it's up to you. Yeah. What would be your top tips for someone who wanted to, start their family photography business?
Okay. My top tip would be look out for a mentor you trust, a mentor to help you with your photography, and a mentor helping you to figure out your numbers and to start pricing out your work and value
Good
the
advice.
right way, because it's harder to raise prices after you started.
Right, okay.
And never stop learning, and never question your gut feeling.
That's a cool
Listen to
one.
your gut feeling. If a certain genre, a certain client, a certain situation feels weird, trust your gut feeling.
That's cool.
And because nothing is more awful than having a client in your pipeline and don't feel good with it.
It's so true.
And yes, trust the process. And don't hang too much time on social media and compare yourself with the others.
That's so
We
true.
all do shitty pictures.
We do indeed, yes. 99.99% of mine are fit that bill. So
Yes. And we all have sessions which should not win award.
Definitely. Those are all great bits of advice, Julia. That's really great. I think, trusting your instinct, your gut is so important, and not comparing yourself with others when it's so easy to go on Facebook, Instagram and see all this work that everyone's doing and thinking less of your own work, or thinking you need to be doing more of that kind of stuff that everyone else is showing. But it's so important to just be you and trust your gut. It really is.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, Julia, I really enjoyed talking to you. It's been really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking me to be here.
Oh no, it's been awesome. Thank you. Sorry, it's taken a little time to arrange. It's been so lovely chatting to you. And your English is perfect.
Yeah, I try my best.
It's so. Oh man, I wish I could speak German like about 0.5% of what you could speak English. Honestly,
German is hard. I'm happy that I'm a native German speaker, because I guess learning German is hard.
Well, it's difficult, but I think English has so many kind of idiosyncrasies, so many strange idioms and things. At least German is more, I don't know, structured, I think.
Yeah, but German has these and you can change the meaning of a word with just adding two letters in front or two on the back, and then it's totally different meaning. And I think it's weird learning German. It's one of the harder. It's easier to learn German to learn English than to learn German, I guess.
Do you think? Really?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you speak English amazingly anyway. It's brilliant. And just thank you for your time. And anyone who's going to listening now, do head to thisreportagefamily.com or this reportage, and I'll include that Reportage Family Award that Julia spoke about there, and a link through to her website as well. And hopefully I get to meet you at some point in real life. That would be lovely.
Yes. If you ever come to Germany, come to Leipzig. It's a nice city, and I'm in the city next to Leipzig.
Oh, okay. I'd love to do that. I would love to. I'd love to. My wife has never been to Germany, and she keeps saying how she'd love to go. So we need to go sometime. I'd love to do that. And if you're ever down in England, and come to Cornwall in the southwest of England, it's really pretty. You can we'll meet up then. Have a cider. Do you like cider?
Yes.
Oh, good. Yes, I love cider. We can have a cider in Cornish cider is good. It's good.
Okay, then I should go there next summer or something like that.
It is really nice. Honestly, it's really pretty. It is a lovely part of the country. It's nice.
I hope that after COVID we can go and visit other countries again.
Yeah, won't that be cool? It really will. Just, yes, yeah. Awesome, Julia. Thank you for your time. You stay well. And I'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 60th episode of the This is Reportage podcast. Julia was a real pleasure to talk to. Hope you enjoyed our chat. Head to thisisreportage.com or thisisreportagefamily.com to see the specific Reportage Family Award that she spoke about, a link to her website, and also a link through to more details of the mentoring program that Julia offers alongside Barbara Puchter. We also have lots more episodes of the podcast available too, where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world. If you're interested in family-specific episodes, then you can delve into our back catalogue and listen to the likes of Rowena Meadows, Katrin Kuhlenberg, Sophie Callowert, Alice Chapman, Else Corsten, Anna Hardy, and more. We also have lots of episodes with wedding photographers too. If you're not yet a member of this reportage or this reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, when they can happen again, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. The submission deadlines for our very first collections of 2021 are just hours away now. The deadline is the same for both This Is Reportage and This Is Reportage Family. Submit by 23:59 GMT on 24th of January 2021. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.